about now?
I had to turn the mic on.
Can you hear anything now?
Is that better?
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Les, we're depending on you.
We're going to trust that you all can hear me until someone says they can't.
Right. So.
Give a little shout.
Yeah.
So yeah, looking at my
About
book,
Chapter 2.
Blueprints for the Little Church.
Yay.
There we go.
Great. Thanks.
Everything's good? Ichin Hadesho?
We figured out how to turn the camera to the side, so that was big for us. And we also got a actual microphone, so that's also exciting. We're getting better at this.
So anyway, talking about once we get rolling here, we're looking at chapter 2 on getting started. So Tuesday we talked about. Tuesday we were talking about kind of why the idea of the little church was important, and that view of the family as the little church, as opposed to maybe the little castle or the little fortress or my little kingdom that I'm supposed to rule over like a petty tyrant. So we talked about the whys of that, and kind of what were some, maybe it's been a couple days, so what are some things we talked about on that? I'm trying to remember. Like ages.
Yeah, just how, we're kind of tasked, like in the marriage service, we're kind of tasked with this idea of becoming the kings and queens of our households, and then, designated as the leaders in that situation, which is pretty daunting and intimidating.
So yeah, and in the book we compare those two services, the wedding and the baptism. Like the wedding opens up, kind of creates this space for the children to come and to be born into, but the recognition that the children themselves are individually in need of salvation and also saved in the family.
And that you're, as wonderful as it might be to have good kids, well-behaved kids, really the goal of parenting is to raise saints, raise children who are, becoming Christ. And that doesn't always mean, good behavior.
No.
So,
well, we use this
kind of dancing in that realm can be hard.
And in the book, the chapter that we were just discussing, we talk about the characters from Anne of Green Gables, and actually that was part of a longer discussion that I had with Elisa, and it got edited down for the book. But that she's, if you know the story, Anne's like...
If you don't know the story of Anne of Green Gables,
go read it
turn
now.
This off and go read it.
Because it
right
would
now.
be better use of your time.
It really would be.
No, that's not true. But it would be a profitable use of your time.
Yes, go read Anne of Green Gables.
But that
make your life better.
Here's this girl, she's constantly getting into scrape after scrape after scrape after scrape. And the couple that is charged with taking care of her just kind of is constantly long suffering trying to get through to this. And eventually she opens them up to love, to life, and to joy and all these things. But it's this they want her to behave all the time the way the best behaved children in town behave in public. It's if only you could be like so-and-so. Well, she's actually like that person in character and in virtue. But when she's at home, she's getting into trouble all the time.
I'm reminded of when our girls were really little, and for those of you who don't know, our oldest two kids are girls, and they are 17 months apart. So we had a toddler and a newborn, and then a preschooler and a toddler, and it was those years were very blurry. I don't remember a whole lot, but I do remember being told by a coworker of Caleb's how she had been watching the girls for us and babysitting them, and how well behaved they were with her, and how clear it was that they were loved. And it was as a young mom, it was kind of a moment oh, I am doing it well. Here I feel like we're just kind of, spending most of the day running around screaming or just trying to get through and make sure everybody's fed and people sleep. and yet, you know, at the same, it's like we are actually doing something greater here, and
Yeah.
that realization that just because my kids misbehave sometimes doesn't mean that they are misbehaving children. I guess
Right.
I don't know
It's
how
not
else
that
to
they're
say it.
bad people. It's
Right.
that they're behaving in a naughty way at the time, and I think that that's really hard sometimes for parents to like wrap their heads around. Is that you're not trying to just have really good kids. You're trying to create good human beings.
Right.
Like if we really believe that children are created in the image and likeness of God, that they are redeemed by Christ, that they're brought into the family of believers.
Thanks.
That
Thanks for that comment, Melinda.
appreciate that. um, the
Sorry, I threw you off.
it's okay. It's a good comment, but it's we have this. Our standard is this crazy, like always obedient child. Yeah, just this angelic cherub. And it's like the reality is our kids are also sinners, and they're also learning how to. They're also working out their salvation. They're also trying to figure that out. And so sometimes, you know, you realize you're a good mom or a good dad because your kids are happy, healthy, and well loved. And you can work on behavioral stuff as the time goes
all those
on.
social graces
Yes, social
can come
awareness.
later. So we're going to build on that
Yes,
thought
starting
tonight, because in addition to all of these pressures that we feel with parenting, then we're going to just slap all the expectations of the church right on top of it. And just keep going. It'll be fine.
That's going to be fantastic.
It'll be great.
And so if you've got the book, we're looking at chapter 2 tonight,
Yeah.
getting started. I want to read off this first quotation here from Father Seraphim Rose. Don't worry too much about how spiritually poor you are. God sees that. But for you, it is expected to trust in God and to pray to Him as best you can, never to fall into despair, and to struggle according to your strength. And I think that that is really what we were just talking about. That's kind of the call to parenting in a nutshell.
Or life.
Or life, it's true. But we're called to serve
So
God
life.
where we are. We're called to struggle
Yes.
where we are. We can compare ourselves to all the people as much as we want, but God knows us. And He wants us to work
Yeah.
and us to do our things.
So I think it's really easy, especially for folks who were maybe raised in a different tradition or have kind of come back to the church, to kind of want to take on all of the different pieces of orthodoxy all at once. You know, the fasting, the prayer rules, all the
Diet, yeah.
services,
Hey, John.
everything. It's very easy to just really want to dive in head first, and it comes from a great place, but it's sometimes it can be really overwhelming.
Yeah, and it's that especially for those of us who like converted, and converted either with young children or just started having our children when we became Orthodox. There's this like, oh my gosh, there's all these things, and those are the exciting things for us. Like, oh, this real living active spirituality. We now need to like make that happen in our homes. Like right away, we have to like recreate this like beautiful, idyllic, perfect Orthodox.
Oh, it's all
home.
ideal,
Oh, it's
right?
constantly ideal.
You have this like,
And I'm gonna own it. I put it in anonymously, but right here, this story right here,
Which one is that?
that's me. That's the
Which story? This is
that's
page 36.
This is
Oh,
Amelia,
yeah. So I
mother
can
of
tell
four.
this story.
Amelia, mother of four, is right here.
I'll
ladies
tell
and
you the
gentlemen,
story.
Right here.
So when we were first realizing that the church where we were in was not going to be where we were going to stay,
No.
and we kind of had some talks about where we would go next, and decided that looking at the Orthodox Church, we had to look at it, and we had to give it a serious consideration, I guess. At that point, it's kind of where we were. We had a baby. We were losing the job. We were moving. We were just doing all the big life stuff all at once. And we kind of came to this point where we decided that we were going to look seriously at the Orthodox Church. And I agreed that that's what we were going to do. And then not 5 minutes later, Caleb ran to the closet and got out a prayer book,
It was
a couple
the next
icons,
night. It was the next
candles, and he set up stuff on the coffee table, and was gonna start doing the Canon of St. Andrew right then. And I was like,
like I said,
like,
it's
what
easy
are
to
we
get
doing?
really caught up and excited about all the things there are to be excited about, and there's
It's
so
like,
much stuff to really
all I
engage
said was
in
I
fully.
would go one time with you. This is not what I signed up for.
So and I tell that story and I own that story because it's so easy to get caught up. Add these other elements to the other stresses of being a parent, and so go slow. Start where you are. Start at the beginning, and we say that a couple different times in the chapter. Start at the beginning. Well, what is the beginning? Well, the basic expectation, life for the Orthodox Christian, for the Christian, for the human. Say your prayers and worship God. Say your prayers, go to church. I mean, we've been sharing that meme around about Father Thomas Hopko.
Which one?
About the if he were here now, what would he be saying? He'd be saying, "You can't go to church, so stay home, say your prayers, obey the commandments, be the church." And it's like I knew that would be the kind of like direction that would go. It is.
Yeah.
There's some real truth to that. That kind of basic basic level of spirituality.
Well, and so we just want to be an encouragement to all of you guys watching that in this time of, transition and upheaval and confusion and fear, just like whatever your faith looked like yesterday, like add just one thing and, and be faithful in the things you're already doing to, whether that's, praying or, reading your Bible or listening to services online or, whatever it is, do it, and don't become so overwhelmed with all of the stuff going on outside that you neglect the thing that is most needful. Right? That's the phrase.
Yeah, so
we're getting little
dings. I'm trying to stop it. That's the Martha moment. I totally empathize with Martha.
It is the Martha moment because you want to be useful, but at the same time we have to be aware of our own spiritual health, and so it's like we're trying to take care of our physical health, and our mental health, and our spiritual health is important too.
Health is important too,
and it all feeds together.
And we were talking about this the other night. We were talking about like you can sacralize any moment. You can make any moment wherever you're at a holy, sacred moment. It doesn't have to be complex and convoluted with lots of candles and incense. It can be a simple crossing yourself before you start any task. Prayers before meals. Just being aware of God's presence in the moment, in the mundanity of whatever it is that you're doing. I think we lose a lot of that power, the kind of the holiness of the mundane, especially in the midst of just the cares and toils and troubles and frustrations of life around us. We forget the basics are be where you are with God.
Yes.
Say your prayers. Remember to pray because God is there. He's always listening. And be with each other. Go to your church and be in worship. Spend time together as a family in worship. Whatever that looks like, it doesn't have to be Lenten hours and prostrations. It can be a simple gathering at the prayer corner to say the Lord's Prayer.
Well, and I love that so many churches are streaming services live, right now, and it's, I like to follow Elwood City, and because they've been doing their services online for a long time, and so I'll listen to it while I'm at work. Because I can wear.
She's at work and she can pray, and I'm at home, and I've got all 4 children running around, 4 children and a dog, and she's got time to pray, and she's at work, and I'm at home, and I can't pray. I prayed for the first time in 3 days today.
Yeah, oh my gosh. No.
Actually pray, not said a prayer, but pray.
We will do. Actually, one thing we've been doing, and we've been really, really good at this, is doing an agathist on Saturday mornings.
Yes.
And we can stream that.
We could do that.
We can stream that.
But it's one of those things pray as you can.
Yes.
Pray as you are able, not as you think you have to.
Thank you, Father Thomas.
Thank you again, Father Thomas. And thus we go back to that introductory statement in the book. Ask your priest. How can we engage at the fullest of where we are?
Yeah.
Not how can we engage fuller, we're fully in 30 years, But right now, our children are 11, 9, 7, and 5.
Yes.
And they are wild.
They're so busy. I love
They
them.
are, and they're very busy. And there's
Our-
lots of things pulling them in different
One
directions.
of our girls has bangs today.
Yeah, just
She
recently.
didn't have bangs yesterday. Now she does.
She didn't have them this afternoon. Daddy missed that one.
Like, look
Cares
at
of the
that.
world.
She's like, I have bangs. Aren't they lovely? I'm like,
So, getting back to what we were talking about, getting back to the book,
sorry.
there's,
For a moment.
and I don't want this book to be one more thing that drives you crazy. There's lots of options here for
Yes.
engaging the church fully with your family.
Mm.
Pick the one that works for you.
But if you would like to get
Oh.
a copy,
If you would like to get
Oh.
a free copy of the audiobook, we are gathering pictures of people's prayer corners, and we will do a drawing
say when we get to chapter 4,
when we get to chapter 4.
which will
Be sooner rather
Might
than later, I hope.
be maybe Monday or Tuesday of next week, I think. Kind of some stuff is coming up, so it's weird. Other people want to talk to us a lot right now. I don't know why. So
And everyone wants to talk.
and everybody wants to do it at 9:00.
Right, it's ridiculous.
It's,
But yeah, I've got
a drawing.
I have
So here are the rules.
audio credits from
Yes.
Audible that I'm giving away.
Audio credits. So chapter 4 is about creating a sacred space.
Yes, icon corners.
Your icon corner is
Whatever that looks like in your
generally
house.
your sacred space in your house. So snap a picture, make it Instagram pretty if you want to. It's not required.
Instagenic.
Instagenic.
That's the word we use.
And send it to Caleb. You can send it to me too, but he's the one you can send it to most easily. You can send him a DM with the picture, and we will put them all together, and we'll do a drawing
Yeah.
of all four. You have a great chance of winning, because right now there's not very many people watching, so a great chance
Yet.
of winning.
So that's coming up in a couple of days when we get that done.
Mm-hmm.
But to come back to the point here, and not to go too much, not to drag things on too much, but it's start at the basics. Say your prayers and go to church. What prayers should I pray? What prayers can you pray?
Mhm.
Right now, it's both hard and really easy to go to church. I mean, perspective is everything. You can't go to your parish building, but how many parishes are live streaming services all day?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, monasteries. I mean, the Elwood City and the Hermitage of the Holy Cross, they're all streaming services all day. Father Tom Soroka is live streaming the icon of the Joy of All Who Sorrow icon. He has his a Facebook camera set straight up at that icon. It's playing all day. So go to church. That part can be pretty easy in our current situation. You don't have to pack the kids up. You don't have to get out of the house. You don't have to worry about skipping a meal. We are in a time, and I had this conversation. Actually, it was with Melinda, who's watching right now, so I'll just mention her name. It feels like the whole world is in Lent right now. It's been kind of put on us.
Yeah.
We have to. All the cares have been pulled out, and we are given this opportunity to focus on our spiritual life.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody else heard this, but I've heard this 45 days, 45 days, 45 days.
Ah!
I'm like, yeah, about
Sounds
that.
about right.
Sounds
about right.
It's about what you need to kind of detox from
And you look
all
at
the
it,
other life.
and
that
we
we're doing.
said we weren't going to talk about the thing, but this is a positive thing about the thing.
It is.
I'm only going to say one more positive thing about the thing.
Okay.
I've seen satellite scans and images from around the world of pollution levels have significantly dropped. Waters in Venice are clear. Dolphins are swimming in the canals in Venice. I mean, the creation has been groaning for the revelation of the sons of God, and we have this opportunity. I guess it's how you look at it. It could be horrifying and scary and overwhelming, or it could be this opportunity to draw closer to each other as family, to grow trust each other in community, and to grow in our prayer life. If you don't have a prayer life with your kids now, what an awesome time to demonstrate how Christian parents, how Christian adults handle times of stress and times of fear and times of anxiety. Mm-hmm. Are they going to watch you grow closer to God, or are they going to watch you grow closer to draw in and be fearful? Are they going to watch you cry out, even in fear, to God about the things that are happening? But to place those words and those concerns in the hand of God, or are they going to watch you go more and more angry and upset and aggressive as the tension mounts? I mean, obviously there's a span of emotions that are in there. This is the opportunity.
Yeah.
It's the time we have now.
Yeah.
You're being asked to stay home, say your prayers, and go to church. I guess remember God.
Yep.
So that's the basics.
Yeah.
I think really of kind of Orthodox Christian parenting.
Yeah, if anybody has fast fingers and wants to shoot a question over, we're happy to answer any questions
we
you
can
have.
talk for a little bit.
We don't have anything calling us away, so like everything. Our house is set up so the kitchen's behind us. The hallway to the bedrooms is that direction, and all is quiet.
So we're watching to see
Down
if we have
there.
any children pop around.
They pop around the corner.
Around that corner. Which you
Yeah.
can't see, but it's
This
around
you
the
can't,
edge of the
yeah.
phone.
So they're all is quiet today. But I think it's because here in North Carolina it was about 80 degrees, and spring is definitely happening right now. And so they were outside most of the day,
Yeah.
riding bikes, coloring with chalk, hitting each other with sticks, whatever else they did.
We did. I did not hit anyone with a stick.
No.
But children were hit with sticks.
I'm the same. And I'm also looking forward to doing some gardening this weekend.
Yeah.
I really need to pull up weeds, just for the good and health of my soul and my sanity.
Care for the created order and
Care for the created
your
order.
soul
Yes.
at the same time.
So
So
yeah, so that's what we're doing, and hope you guys are doing well out there.
yeah, we're gonna.
Why does the camera's like zooming?
It's like
in and out?
autofocusing.
Oh, that's weird.
We're gonna do. Yeah, we're gonna do an akathist tomorrow morning around 9:30, give or take. We'll probably live stream that.
Ish.
10ish.
Saturday mornings. I don't know how they go at your house, but at our house it's kind of like.
We've been doing this now for about half a year. People
Yes.
come over to our house, they
That's
bring
true.
donuts, and we have coffee, and we sing. We've been doing the akathist hymn to the Mother of God. Last week we did Saint Pantaleon because we knew this all was kind of coming in.
Yeah, I think we can go back to the regular akathist because
so,
we
yeah.
know it better. But
We do know it better.
yeah, we may have a neighbor join us, but we won't have more than 10 people, which
No.
means we can't have more than 4 people come over to our house because we are 6 people just by ourselves. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but thank you all for joining us tonight. And again, if it's when we do these, if questions do come up or comments do come up, feel free to.
Oh, will that be streaming here? Yes.
Yes, it will.
It will be on the same.
Yep.
Same time. not
We
same
will
time,
be
same
streaming
place.
it on my Facebook profile. And so yeah, we're going to do that.
And you guys can see our icon corner.
Yeah.
/ wall.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever seen Woody Allen's. Oh, is the dog is thirsty. If you've seen Woody Allen's Love and Death movie, they have an icon wall in that movie.
Well, it goes up the wall.
It goes all the way up.
And like over the ceiling.
Because there's like one on the ceiling.
Ours isn't that bad, but it's
We're
pretty
getting
big.
there.
It's pretty close.
We are getting there.
So yes, we'll point the
we'll-
camera towards the icons and we'll all sing and bring our supplications to the Mother of God,
Yes.
which is a great place to be in Lent. If your parish doesn't do salutations or doesn't do the Praxis hymn during Lent, like
can do
OCA parishes don't tend to do them, they tend to be Byzantine Rite. Like, if you've never done it, it's a fabulous service to just stand with your mother, pouring out your heart in the middle of Lent. And now is a great time to do that. So, for those of you who choose to join us, be here around 9:30-ish. Keep an eye out.
Yep.
But thanks for joining us, and we'll talk to you again. We probably will not do this. We won't do this
No,
tomorrow night.
Not tomorrow night.
We will
we'll
look
see
at
about
Sunday. So, talk to you guys later.
Bye.
Maybe.